I did the math and the math said leave. I did the math and the math said go. I did the math on everything you gave me, and the sun kept coming back to know. And every recommendation, every year of learning how to be somebody, every version of my full qualification. Brought the patience and a home-cooked Sunday evening. The showing up when showing up was hard. I brought the full commitment and the chosen, the love that doesn't need the shooting star. And what you brought was inconsistent presence, a sometimes and a maybe and a win. And I kept filing my application, not understanding why you kept returning it again. And then I read the job description clearly, really reading line by line, and understood the position you were offering wasn't worthy of a woman of my caliber and good. Overqualified for your love, too much experience for what you're offering here. Overqualified for your love, too much woman for the role you want me in this year. I'm not the one you settle down and halfway, I'm not the one you call when the better option's gone. Overqualified for your love, and I'm taking my talents and I'm moving on, moving on, moving on. Overqualified, and it feels so good, but finally know it. Overqualified for your love. I used to think the problem was my standard, that maybe I was asking for too much, that maybe I should lower the expectation and settle for the inconsistent touch. But that is a story that the wrong ones tell you, to keep you in the position that serves them well, that keeps you grateful for the crumbs of their attention, that keeps you in the cycle and the spell. And I broke out of the spell on a Thursday morning, when I looked at what I'd given and what I got, and the accounting was so painfully unbalanced that I laughed out loud right there on the spot. Of every woman audited her situation, looking at the numbers and the return. If the love you're giving isn't being matched or honored, if the lesson keeps repeating to be learned, you are not too much, you are not the problem. You are not asking for too much of the sky. You are simply overqualified for someone who was never worth the full of your reply. Walk out, head high and fully knowing. Walk out, your worth is worth the showing. Ever qualified, and that is the blessing. Overqualified is the finest kind of lesson. Overqualified for your love, and that's the best thing I have ever known. Overqualified for your love, and I'm taking every qualification home. Back to myself, back to the deserving, back to the one who knew her worth before you came. Overqualified for your love, and I never redeem myself again. Never again, never again. Overqualified, and I'm proud of every inch of it. They always want the loud kind of the strong, the kind that announces and demands its recognition, the kind that wears its power like a banner and fills the room with its own position. But I've known the quiet kind of strong, the kind that holds without the crowd to witness, the kind that gets back up on empty mornings and calls it just another act of fitness. My mother never raised her voice in conflict. She never needed to, the room already knew that quiet strength is not the absence of the fire. It's the fire turned completely inward through quiet strength, the kind that doesn't need the applause to know it's real. Quiet strength, the kind that bends before it breaks and still can feel. I've been building mine in the private and the daily, in the small decisions no one sees me make. Quiet strength, the most powerful thing I've ever had to take into the room, into the fight, into the darkest ordinary night. Quiet strength. There are women everywhere around me, quietly holding everything in place, who wake before the house and sleep the latest, who carry every burden with the grace of the unthanked and the unacknowledged daily, who would never ask for the parade or the praise, who just keep doing what the quiet strong do, keep showing up through all the ordinary days. I wanna name them, I wanna see them plead, I wanna say I know the weight you carry home. I know the quiet strength it takes to keep on choosing, to keep the whole thing standing and your own. Don't mistake the quiet for the absent. Don't mistake the calm for having nothing there. The quietest women in the room are often carrying the most that anyone can bear. And the strength they carry isn't for the showing, it's for the actual living and the through. Quiet strength is the architecture of the everything that holds the whole world up for me and you. Quiet strength. I spent 3 years waiting for the sorry, 3 years with my hand out in the rain, waiting for the acknowledgement of the damage, the recognition of the how and of the pain. I rehearsed the conversation on the Tuesday and again on the Wednesday and the week. I knew exactly what I needed from the sorry. I knew exactly how it was supposed to speak. But the sorry never came in any version, not the text and not the phone call and not the door. And I stood there with my open hand, getting heavier until I couldn't hold the weight in anymore. The apology I never got, I gave it to myself one Sunday morning. The apology I never got, I stopped waiting for and started the adorning of a life that doesn't need the other's closure, a healing that begins inside my own. The apology I never got taught me how to give it to my own. I'm sorry I kept waiting past the leaving. I'm sorry I made your sorry my condition. I'm sorry I put my healing in your hands. The apology I needed was my own permission. There's a particular freedom in releasing the need for the acknowledgement to move, the realization that the healing doesn't require the one who caused the wound to make the groove of closure smooth. The closure is internal. It is the choosing to go forward anyway, with or without the sorry and the seam, with or without the word they'll never say. And I chose myself on that particular Sunday. I chose my own forward and my own apology for waiting past the healthy. And I walked out of the waiting and came home. To anyone still waiting for the sorry, still holding the wound open for the close, I want you to know you don't need their apology to heal from the hardest and the most. You are allowed to close the wound yourself. You are allowed to say enough and go. You are allowed to heal without the sorry. You are allowed to let the waiting go. Let it go, let it go. The sorry isn't coming and you know. And you can heal, you can heal, you can heal without it. Give yourself the apology. Give yourself the gold. The apology I never got, I became the one who gave it to myself. The apology I never got, I took it off the waiting and the shelf and put it in my own hands where it belonged, in the only hands that could have healed it true. The apology I never got was always meant to come from me, not you. From me, from me. The healing was always mine. From me, from me. The apology on time, the right, not you. From me. You were the one I thought I'd grown past loving, the chapter I had closed and neatly shelved, the name I'd kept in the fondness of the finished, the one I'd filed away inside myself. And then you walked into the ordinary Wednesday, into the coffee shop I've gone to every week. And you looked at me the way you used to look before the ending and the everything that leaves. And I felt the whole thing stir the 3 hours on the Wednesday, like the years between had been a single breath, like the conversation had been paused, not ended, like we'd both just stepped outside and come back fresh. And I kept looking for the thing that went wrong, the incompatibility that split us in the end. And I found it, but it looked so much smaller from the other side of everything since then. Because we were young and incomplete and rushing, and the timing was the villain more than us. And the question is whether older and returning is a miracle or just the same old fuss. I'm not the girl who loved you in the beginning, and you are not the boy who let me go. We are the version shaped by all the between years, by everything the time has helped us know. And maybe that is exactly the foundation for the second chapter of the first real thing. Maybe the love that formed us in the early is the love that the later years can bring to full completion, to the actual renew that the first time was too young and raw to find. First love, second chance. First love, second chance. I think I wanna leave the shell behind. First love, second chance. I'm choosing you with both eyes wide this time. First love, second chance. With everything I know and everything I'm, we are the grown-up version of the beginning, the love that knows what love has cost and worth. First love, second chance. The most beautiful thing on earth. Let's try. Let's try. Let's love, second chance. Let's try. When nobody's watching, I eat cereal for dinner. I dance in the kitchen in the socks without the grace. I talk to myself through every hard decision. I cry at the ending even when I know the place. I go back and read the messages from people who love me in the chapters now long gone. I write myself the notes I need for morning. I make up the harmonies to every song. I stand inside the shower longer than I should, processing the weak and the warm. I am completely and entirely different from the version that I bring into the storm. When nobody's watching, this is who I really am. When nobody's watching, I am softer than my Instagram. I am messier and funnier myself for everything. I sit inside the grace of the alone, where the judgment and the audience are sitting, and I can be the woman I have known since childhood, in the bedroom with a notebook, who was never worried about how she seemed, who laughed too hard and dreamed too wide and felt too much and called it living and not something to be tamed. She's still there when nobody is watching, the original, unperformed and free, and I try to let her out a little daily before the world reminds me who to be. I think we're all performing just a little, just a slight adjustment for the room. And there's nothing wrong with the social and the polish, but we need the unperformed and the bloom of the actual self and the actual quiet, and nobody watching in the real. That's where the healing and knowing lives. That's where we actually know what we feel. So I'm practicing nobody watching, even when the somebody is around. Practicing the real and the own life. Practicing the putting down, the performance, the persona, the polish. Just me, just me. When nobody's watching, that's who I wanna be. When nobody's watching, I am everything I'm too afraid to show. When nobody's watching, I am every seed and every way I grow. I am dancing and I'm crying and I'm healing. I am singing and I'm real and I'm undone. When nobody's watching is when I have the most fun. Nobody watching, nobody needing, just me in the actual light. When nobody's watching, everything is right. I know my problems are the privileged kind, the ones that come from having more than nothing, the ones that live inside the comfortable, the ones that have the luxury of something. And I feel the complexity of sitting in the sadness that the well-provided have, the grief that lives inside the furnished apartment, the heartbreak in the full refrigerators have, because pain does not require the poverty to be entirely real and entirely there. And the woman in the well-appointed crying is as human as the woman in the bed. Champagne problems don't make them less than problems in the bone. Champagne problems still leave a woman crying all alone. I know how it looks from the outside looking in. I know the privilege and I hold it with the care. But champagne problems still fit exactly everywhere. Still hurt everywhere. Still hurt everywhere. A problem in a glass of gold. Still a problem, still a way to hold. I have friends who would trade their heart But the human heart does not compare its aching to others' aching as its own indifference. It just aches the way it aches completely in the body that it lives in and the now. And the ache of the gilded and the comfortable is aching that is still worth asking how to heal and to address and to be honest about the grief inside the gold rim frame. Champagne problems are still human problems, and the woman in the crystal feels the same. I'm not asking for the sorry or the sympathy. I'm asking for the room to be complete, to be the woman who has everything externally and still needs something that she cannot eat, or buy a book or organize her way through something that the comfortable can't give. The particular and personal and the inward, the thing inside, the thing we need to live. And I sit with my champagne problem gently, and I give it the same tenderness I would if it came in a harder package socially, because the heart doesn't know the difference and it should. Champagne problems, they're mine and they are real and they are felt. Champagne problems still come with all the cards that grief has dealt. I hold my privilege and I hold my aching, both in the same hands without the shame. Champagne problems, the woman inside the gold still has her name, her pain, her need, her full humanity. Champagne problems are still problems, are still me. I took the long way home to myself, not the clean and efficient and the straight, not the highway with the clear signs and the no, but the back road and the detour and the lane. I went through every wrong before the right, through every wrong door before the actual, through every substitute and every placeholder before the real and the factual, before the real me waiting at the ending of every road I'd taken to avoid her. The fully realized and the honest, the woman I had worked so hard to disorder. I took the long way until this was something I had found. By process and by elimination, mostly by ruling out and ruling out until the only thing remaining was the actual, the self and the life and the distill. And I arrived here slightly late by some clocks, by the timelines that the world prescribes and sells. But I arrived here fully formed and knowing, and arriving home is worth more than anything else. To the woman in the middle of her long way, who's wondering if the road will ever end, who's tired of the detour and the backwards, who needs to know the long way isn't pinned. As failure, it is just the scenic route of the particular life you are living. And everything the long way shows you matters. Every wrong turn is the long way giving you the knowledge that the short way skips completely the texture of the full and complicated truth. You are not behind, you are on the long way, and the long way leads exactly home to you. I took the long way home, and every mile was a mile that mattered. The long way home, through every dream I held and dream I shattered. Till every start and every beginning over, through every almost and every line. I took the long way home, and every step of it was earned. Long way, long way. Home is worth a long way. Long way home. I'm here, I'm here, I'm home. Nobody told me healing wasn't linear, that you could feel okay and then not okay by noon, that the good week doesn't guarantee the next week, that the darkness comes back sometimes like the moon. Nobody told me loving yourself was a practice, not a destination, but a daily show of choice. That some mornings you wake up full of a belonging, and some mornings you can barely find your voice. Nobody told me that the strongest women are the ones who know exactly when to ask for the hand, that the independence and the needing aren't opposites, that both can live together told me that the leaving takes the longest, that the decision is the easy part by far, that the going is the simple and the staying gone is the marathon that shows you who you are. Nobody told me that the friends who see you clearly are worth more than the crowd that sees the surface. That one person who knows the full you completely is every social currency with purpose. Nobody told me that the body keeps the record, that the stress of the surviving shows up later, that you have to tend to physical with tenderness long after the emotional chapter. I'm writing the manual nobody handed me, page by page in real time as I live, compiling all the things that coming through has taught me, all the things that going through has to give. And I give it to you freely and completely. All of the things that nobody told me found. You are going to be okay in ways you can't imagine. You are going to find your actual ground. Nobody told me, so I'm telling you, you are more than the hard thing you're going through. You are the morning after every storm you've known. You are the long way home, riding home. Nobody told me, so now I tell it every chance I get. Nobody told me, and I haven't forgotten, and I won't forget what it felt like to be in the nobody told me, in the figuring it out without the guide. So I'll be the somebody who tells you everything I learned from the inside. Somebody told me, and that somebody is me. Everything nobody told me, I'm telling you for free. I'm not the woman I was this time last summer. She was doing the best that she could do, but the version that I'm living in right now has been through her refining and the through. She knows when to hold the line and when to soften. She knows that she doesn't have to earn the room. She knows that rest is not the opposite of worthy. She knows she doesn't have to bloom in June. She can bloom in her own October, in her own particular season and her time. She is not behind the schedule of the others. She is right on time, on her own line. Better version, not perfect, but a better kind of true. is just the love of continuing the love. I forgive every version that came before me, the one who didn't know the things I know, the one who stayed too long in the not good enough, the one who forgot her own magnificent glow. She was building what she knew how to build with the tools and the light she had at hand, and she built enough to bring me to this version, and that is more than I can recommend. Thank you, every version. Thank you for doing what you did to bring me here. Better version, because of every previous pioneer. Better version, and the best is still a chapter yet to write. Better version, getting better in the dark and in the light. I'm not the finished and I'm not the perfect, but I'm better and I'm growing and I'm here. Better version, but I'm better and I'm here when I'm full.
I used to carry everything inside me silently, pack it down and smile and say I'm fine, until the weight of all the carrying would crack the surface and I'd lose the line. But then I learned to take it to the music, to bring the whole impossible to the page, and something in the translation to the lyric would make the unbearable into the sage. The wisdom that was hiding in the hurting, a lesson underneath the loss and low. The song was always waiting in the living for me to finally let the living go. Save it for the soul, take everything you feel into the music. Save it for the song, the melody will help you work right through it. Every heartbreak has a chord progression, every healing has a key to find. Save it for the song, and the song will help you find your mind, your heart, your ground, you're coming through. Save it for the song. The song was made for you. I have written through the 3 a.m. of breaking. I have written through the ordinary grief, through the specific and the universal aching, through the over before it started brief. And every song became a kind of surgery that reached the place the talking couldn't touch, that moved the thing that was refusing movement, that released the thing I've been holding too much. The song is not the therapy replacing, but the companion to the healing and the word, the particular medicine of the musical that lives beneath the surface and the hurt. To anyone who has no words for the feeling, who can't explain it in a reasonable way, let the music have the part that words are missing. Let the melody say what you can't say. Hum it if you have to, let it find you. Let the bass line hold what you can't hold alone, because the song has been receiving human feeling since before the very first of us was known. Since the first woman looked up at the sky and let the sound come out before the why. Save it for the song, save it for the music. just for you. He put flowers on the table Tuesday morning. Not a special occasion, not a day. Just because he passed the market on the corner and thought of me and thought the flowers couldn't wait. And I stood there in the kitchen looking at them, the ordinary yellow of the ordinary week. And I felt something in this simple gesture that all the grand gestures couldn't speak. Because the grand is easy in its way. You plan the grand for the acknowledged moment, but the Tuesday morning flowers with no reason are the proof of I heard about her, of course I heard about her. The one you moved to after moving out. And I sat with the information for a moment and found I had considerably less feeling about it than I thought. Not because I'm cold or unaffected, but because I've done the work on the inside, and the work has given me a particular stillness around the things that used to take my ride. And all I thought when I heard about her story was I genuinely hope she knows what she's in, and I hope for her sake that the version you're presenting is a version you can actually sustain. She's not me, and I don't mean that as a competition. She's not me, and I mean that as the simplest recognition of the fact that what you had with me was specific. What you lost when I left is specifically mine. She's not me, and you will know that over time. Out of thread, not a taunt, just the truth and the one. She's not me. Because what we built inside our particular chemistry and history and years is not a thing that's transferable to another. Not the laughter and the language and the fears. She met a different version of you entirely, the one that was shaped by everything with me. And I shaped him and he shaped me completely, and she gets the residue of our chemistry. And I don't say this to diminish what she brings. She brings herself, and that is full and real. But she is not the one who knew you before the knowing, and that is just the truth of what I feel. I don't live here in the she's not me. I don't wake up and think about the comparison. I woke up for a morning and I thought it, and I'm writing it because the clarion call herself knowing, said right the honest thing, say the truth thing even when it sounds like ego. The truth is she's not me, and I'm not her, and you're not the same person you were either. And none of us are villains in this story. We're just three people navigating the after. She's not me, I'm not her, you're not him, and somewhere in that difference is the chapter. She's not me, and I made my peace with who she gets to be. She's not me, and I made my peace with who you let her see. I'm out here being fully and completely the unrepeatable original I am. She's not me, and that is nobody's problem and nobody's plan. Just the truth, just the fact. She's not me, and I'm not looking back. I have been waiting for permission my entire life, for the nod and for the go-ahead and the green, for the someone with the authority of the outside to validate the thing I've always been. I waited for my parents and my teachers, for my friends and for the critics in the crowd. I kept my biggest self inside the waiting, kept the fullest of my living not yet loud. And the waiting is a theft that no one names. The years spent in the lobby of permission, when the door was open all along entirely, and the waiting was the only real condition. I give myself permission right now in this moment and this breath. I give myself permission to be the fool and live in the rest of everything I've kept inside the waiting. permission to take up space, to have the opinion and the voice in the room, to be the one who starts the conversation, to bloom in February if that's my bloom. I give myself permission to be imperfect, to fail in front of people and move on, to not have all the answers at the ready, to be the in-between and still belong. I give myself permission to want the wanting, to name the dream without the qualifier of the but, to say this is what I want without the cushion, without the just in case and without the cut. You have been waiting for someone to tell you that the thing you want to do is good enough, that the woman you are is sufficient and complete, that you don't need to send away the rough. So here's the permission you've been looking for, written in the most honest ink I know. You have permission to be everything you are. You have permission to stay, and you have permission to go. You have permission to change your mind on Tuesday, to start again on any day, any age. You have permission to write your own beginning. You have permission to be the author of your page. Permission, permission. It was yours, it was always yours. Permission, permission. Open up your own doors. I give myself permission, and I give it to you too. I give myself permission to be entirely and authentically true. Not the version that was approved by the committee, not the version that was shaped by the afraid, the full and unreviewed and unsubmitted version, the woman who was never meant to wait. Permission, permission. Take it, take it, take it now. Permission, permission. You always had it anyhow. Permission, granted by the only one who could. Permission, granted by you. Can I just say I'm tired of being the strong one? Just for tonight, just for this single evening. Can I put the whole weight of the holding down beside the door without the leaving? Being ready, strong, because I'm not crying visibly, because I handle it and I handle it and I handle it without the spectacle of my inability. But the handling has a cost that doesn't show, and tonight the cost is larger than the table, and I am sitting in the honest tide of the I'm fine when I am anything but able. Tired without the guilt of the strong one showing cracks. One evening of just tired and just human, and then I'll put the strong back where it's at. But tonight, let me be tired. Tonight, let me be tired of being strong. Just for tonight, tired of being strong and strong enough to say finally. Tired of being strong and strong enough to ask for what I need. Because asking is the strongest kind of knowing, and needing is the bravest thing I've done. Tired of being strong, but strong enough to say I need someone. I need someone. I need someone. Hold me, just hold me. I'll be strong again tomorrow. Tonight, hold me. After everything, after all of it, I am standing here, and I am golden after all. I have been through every song on this collection, lived the lyric of every word I wrote. I have been the woman in the 3 a.m. and broke inside the carrying of the load. Every song you'll ever write about the heart, every night you'll ever spend inside the groove, is the making of the gold that waits at the ending, the particular and irreplaceable you. And the you at the arrival is the finest, the most refined and fully formed.